Today I'm going to be talking about diversity and specifically the diversity in women in the workforce. I looked up a definition of diversity just so you can kind of have that in the back of your head. And it's a range of different things. And it's so important in the workforce to have a range of different ethnicities, religions, gender. Today I'm going to be focusing on women and men in the workforce and the diversity between those two. It is so important to have diversity, not just because then makes your company look good on the outside, but also financially. Statistics have shown that companies that have a wider diversity make more money. They have better revenue. Secondly, you have a whole group of knowledge. When women and men are diversified throughout a company, there's so much knowledge that each group has that can bring to the company to just make you better than your competitors. Thirdly, there's uniqueness. They may have a way to problem solve something that no one else would have thought of if you had all white American males working for you. You wouldn't have that uniqueness to help you problem solve. I'm going to talk about two different diversities, American and globally, just because our company is both. We are located in the US, but we have a global company. American diversity, women want to reach senior management. There's still a gap, even though it is the 21st century, and you would think that women and men are treated fairly. That's not necessarily true. It is rare to see women in senior management, and that needs to be a priority for our company. Secondly, 50% of women in the US work. That's a big percentage. And so I want to make that a priority in our company of women and men equally working and making equal pay. Women are paid 20 cents less per hour than males, which is a big deal. Thirdly is what I kind of touched on, equality. I want to have a equal workforce so that we have men and women in all positions throughout the business. Excuse me, I have a cold. Global diversity, I'm going to focus on India because that's where we're globally located. That's another area that we're really into. Women have low education there because they are expected to get married and have kids and be a housewife, but they still have dreams to work. And so I want to make that dream a reality. And so we need to help them get to the education that they need in order to work for our company. Something else that needs to be cut out completely is sexual harassment. In India, that is a very big problem, that when women come into the workforce, sexual harassment happens, and our company has no tolerance for that. So I just want to make that known as you're coming into management, that sexual harassment in the US as well as globally, our company has a no tolerance for that. Cultural and religious beliefs are holding women back, and so we need to really make sure that we are building them up and making it as easy for them to work for us. They need to be home, and so sometimes they're going to have to take their work home with them, but that's okay. It's just a different culture than we have here. This is an interesting thing. I actually just noticed that I have this spelled wrong, so I will fix that. But this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So this is what every person needs that works for us. This is the needs of every person on the planet. They need this bottom line. I'm just going to kind of go through the levels. You can read them yourself. They need housing and food just to live. They need to feel safe and secure financially. If it's making sure that we don't have sexual harassment where we work, they need to feel safe. People want to belong. And so we need to be empathetic and make sure that we can help them as much as we can and make them feel belonged. Next is esteem. Everyone wants good self-esteem, and we want to help our employees get there. And then on top of that is people feel good. And when people feel good and feel cared for, they work harder. So let's just strive for that throughout our company. Managers, what you need in order to help our employees is you need to be accepting of them. You need to make them feel valued and be empathetic. Even if it's an issue that you think, oh my gosh, kindergartners could figure this out better than these adults can, empathize with them. Make them feel like their concern is worth your time. So even if you're not exactly right in the situation, if somebody comes to you with a problem, please just be empathetic, make them feel valued and feel like their concern is accepted and will be handled. What you need to end immediately when people come to you, gossip. We don't talk bad about people in our company. We don't tolerate that. So if somebody is gossiping to you about somebody else, make sure you go to that person, you figure out the truth, and you just end that gossip right there. People are going to be in denial about things happening. Just make sure that you are open and honest and in a loving way. Just ask them to tell the truth, and being in denial is not going to help them. Thirdly, don't blame somebody because you don't know. You got to hear both stories before you can make your decision. So don't put blame on them. And also kind of about denial. If a problem comes to you, don't deny it just because it's going to be a tough one to fix. Get the help that you need, if it is higher management than you, to help solve that problem right where you're at. Make sure that each person feels important. Each person in our company, they play a role. Distributing, management, retail staff, CEOs, they all play a role, and without them, we can't do our job and our company cannot succeed. So make sure that that is just super important, that every person here feels like they play a role and they're important. Make sure that their uniqueness is a good thing. Show that they can help us solve problems and do great things just because they're uniquely them and they're important. And lastly, just help them to feel valued. Sometimes work can be stressful, and having a company, not everything goes right, but just make sure that they're valued. Appreciate your workers, appreciate all employees, because without them, our company just wouldn't run. A cool story that I want to share when it comes to women in the workforce is Chicos FAS. It is a clothing company out of the United States here, Fort Myers, Florida. There is many women in senior management here, and it just shows because they're successful. 56% of their board consists of females, which is unheard of in the United States. And they make sure that women feel empowered. And I want that to be us, that we are diverse enough that we make men and we make women feel empowered to work in our company, that they can climb the ladder, that they can become senior management, help them to feel empowered. Something else that is pretty amazing is, I touched on before, that diversity helps finances, that you make more money. This business right here in the US, they're just in the United States, they're not global. There's a Fortune 500 list, and they keep that list going on and on and on. And these guys are rated 814 out of all businesses in the United States. That is pretty awesome, and they are doing great financially. So that just shows us that empowering women, helping women to work in our company will make us better. I just want to conclude with that. I want to thank you for listening. I want your takeaways to be empower women, help them to feel like they are valued. And as management, don't be in denial about things and ask for help when you need it. We are here to help you. And thank you so much for watching.